This was what many Aucklanders woke up to this morning, just a few days after a deadly storm swamped the city. Homes flooded again, fallen trees downed power lines and many roads were left closed. Henderson local Bex Hurley spent the night terrified as the stream across from her home began rising again.
So we had flooding up to the top of the fence lines this morning, and on Friday it was very close to entering the top of the houses there, so 2 stories high, which is pretty extreme. But yeah, it's just really affected us with the anxiety levels. We didn't want to go to sleep last night. Oh, I don't want to cry on camera.
Her neighbours, who fled after Friday's downpour, left with a yellow sticker on the home they've only lived in for a few years.
So we would like to be able to get out of these properties and get somewhere safe. So obviously we can't sell them because we wouldn't want anybody else living in here. So yeah, we really want the council to buy our properties back and demolish them. Yeah, we just can't keep doing this. We've had like 8 floods in 7 years. So yeah, we're getting pretty sick of it.
Further south in Ngihanga, an Auckland bus driver was labelled crazy for taking passengers through this.
You are kidding me.
And it got to just before 6 and I thought I'd go down and just check that all the houses at the bottom are okay. And as I'm looking around and filming, here I see a bus coming through and couldn't quite believe it when they first started coming, and literally seeing the horror on the passengers' faces as they're scrambling to get up on the seat. The bus driver didn't really seem to have an expression that he was all that concerned. They made it, but it certainly made me then want to call 111 and make sure no one else takes that risk.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister was in town helping fill food boxes in Mangere. He was joined by Finance Minister Grant Robertson, who signalled the floods would likely be the biggest non-earthquake event the country had ever seen. It comes as Auckland Mayor Wayne Brown faces ongoing criticism over the way he's handled the emergency, on Saturday having this to say to homeowners caught up in the mess.
Some of those houses, when you think about it, actually shouldn't have been where they are.
When you buy in suburban Auckland, you don't expect that your house would get flooded 3 times in the past 12 months for many of the houses along here. You don't expect that you wouldn't be able to park your car on the street at risk of it floating away. So I don't support the notion that it's acceptable that these houses have been built in the wrong place. I just don't think that the correct infrastructure is in place to be able to support the intensification. And I've heard instances of people who've purchased homes a number of years ago and the LIM report clearly did not state that it was in a flood zone, but those same LIM reports have now been updated to say that this is a flood zone. So that does not help people who purchased their homes a number of years ago.
A glimmer of hope, though, came in the afternoon as the sun reappeared and dark grey clouds moved on. Forecasts suggest the worst of the rain could be over, for Aucklanders at least. Relief for those desperate to finally get on with the big clean-up ahead.